Now we're at Riverwood Farms, and this is a special day. You've got people all the way from Australia in Cullman County. Tell us about that.
We do. We've got a group of agricultural scholars, we'll call them. They're in a program called the Nuffield Scholars program, and they're from primarily Australia. We've got one from New Zealand and another one from the Netherlands.
Jazeker kan ik dat. Ik was erg verrast door de hoeveelheid verse groentes, de hoeveelheid fruit en de heerlijke vis en vlees wat we hier gehad hebben. En ik zie ernaar uit om meerdere pluimveebedrijven te bezoeken. Dus.
Now tell you, they could have picked anywhere in the world to come. What are they doing in Cullman?
Well, we were fortunate to get them to come to this area, I think, but they had a connection at Auburn. Their leader had a connection with Dennis Evans at Auburn, who's led some leadership programs that went over to Australia. And that connection led them to come to Alabama, so we're very grateful to have them here.
Yeah, I'm friends with a bunch of people in Australia, and some of them suggested, hey, could we bring a group to your state as part of our global focus tour? And I said, sure, why not?
Now in English, what did you just say?
I just said that I was very happy with all the local and fresh grown food and vegetables over here. And I was looking forward to see in this week a lot of poultry farmers and all the agriculture here in Alabama.
Well, you're taking, as I understand it, you're taking them to different farms, different facilities around the county, correct?
That's right. We're showing them the gamut of agriculture and forestry in Cullman County. And we have a little bit of everything. So it's a good opportunity for them to see a lot of different types of enterprises, from a small vegetable farmer all the way up to a 3,000-acre tree farmer like what we see.
You just drove up here with a caravan of folks from Australia. Tell us about this.
Well, they wanted to tour the property. They wanted to see how we do our timber operation and wildlife. And we rode around and looked at the operation.
They looked like they were very interested because they're used to kiwis and tomatoes and different crops, so this had to be different for them.
It certainly was, but here in Alabama and in Cullman, timber production is just like growing corn. We're only operating on a longer rotation. Instead of getting harvest every year, we harvest our crops once every 30 years, but other than that, we use the same agricultural practices here they do in Australia.
Yeah, we're at Riverwood Farms out here in Arkadelphia, almost on the Blount County line. It's a tree farm, basically.
It is a tree farm. They're farming this just like you would any other crop. They're managed heavily with controlled burns. They manage for wildlife, particularly for dove, deer, quail, and turkeys. So it's a very well managed, not only tree farm, but as a wildlife area.
You're kind of the ringleader of this group. Tell us about your travels.
Yeah, thank you. We're here visiting America from Australia. And the Netherlands and New Zealand, and we're involved with a Nuffield Scholarship program that's been giving farmers around the world the opportunity to travel around and see how best practice agriculture is done in other countries.
Jeremy, you were a farmer not too far from here. You're supplying the lunch. Tell us what we've got on the menu.
They've got sweet corn and boiled potatoes and okra and peaches and watermelon.
I saw some shrimp thrown in there someplace.
No, the shrimp's not mine.
That's not yours. Everything else is yours. So tell us about your operation.
We grow around 30 to 40 acres of vegetables. Peaches, strawberries, and tomatoes are our three biggest crops. We just raise a wide variety of vegetables. We own our own store at Dodge City where we market a lot of our product. And we also grow a lot of pumpkins. So come see us in the fall if you need pumpkins.
So you've got it covered spring to fall, don't you?
We try.
We've been involved in a 6-week program that's taken us through Singapore, India, Qatar, Dubai, France, Belgium, and now we're here in America. So we've just come from DC and we've arrived in Alabama.
What are your impressions so far of Cullman in Alabama?
Oh, look, it's been warm, a little bit humid, and it looks very green. It's from the country we've seen. It looks very productive, and it's not dissimilar to home in a lot of places. So it looks very appealing.
And Tony, you brought out the Alabama Extension Office mobile kitchen. You're going to show them how food's made in Cullman, aren't you?
We're actually feeding them entirely Alabama-grown lunch, and most of it was grown 5 miles from here at Jeremy Calvert's farm. All of our vegetables were produced by Jeremy Calvert, so it's a local meal, and our fish was produced at Auburn in our fisheries department. And we're grateful for them for supplying not only our fish, but some farm-raised shrimp. We'll get to sample as well.
We operate on a little over 3,000 acres total, and about 80% of that's actually in pine plantation.
Oh, yeah. Now, Suzanne, your role is to run chainsaws, or what do you do?
No. I'm the cook.
You're the cook. Well,
I'm the cook.
they're taking
and the
over
chief
for you.
bottle washer.
Well, the extension office is taking over for you today.
Oh yes, what a relief.
It is not.
And it's good to see some agriculture that we can talk to the farmers, and we're seeing agroforestry today, which has been very impressive, and we saw a bit of intensive vegetables and peaches, which was also great.
I bet you this is educational. In other words, you can take things back into your own practice, your own business that you haven't ever seen before.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what Nuffield's all about, and this program we're involved in at the moment is really, I'm a sheep and cereal producer in Australia, and this is all new ground for me, but it's every little trip you take, there's new things you can pick up, and we're learning a lot every day.
You're from the Netherlands.
Yep.
Long way from home. Tell us about your experience on this tour so far.
Yeah, it's a big experience. We visited, to start with, in India, Singapore, with the Middle East. We did Europe in France, Belgium. And after 2 days Washington, we arrived yesterday in Alabama, in the beautiful city of Birmingham.
Now, your job in farming is poultry, correct?
Yep.
And that's very near and dear to a lot of people in Cullman. Tell us about how you raise poultry in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I'm a broiler farmer, dus in the poultry meat industry. And we have a big opportunity and challenges with the animal welfare companies. And that means for my farm, for example, that I lowered down my number of birds from 130,000 to 70,000 with a special slower growing brand, because people like that in the city. And it's a profitable way of farming.
So a good smattering of Alabama-grown products here from Taste.
Right, let's talk about animal management out here. I realize you probably have all sorts of things, from deers to smaller animals to birds. How do you integrate that environmentally, animals and trees? How does that work?
Well, good forestry management is good wildlife management. Good wildlife habitat's just a byproduct of healthy forest management. Yeah, and we've had established customers that's been coming back for years and years, and we just sell enough to kind of pay for our bad habits of doing this. And so we've got groups that's been hunting here for 10 years. They come back over and over, so we're pretty well stay booked.
One last question. You got treated to a Alabama lunch. What do you think?
Oh, fantastic. You guys eat well down here. It's going to be a nice week to spend down here with you.
Right on. Thanks for talking with me.
Cheers. Thank you.
Sometimes hush puppies, they get done on the outside, but not on the inside.